I wanted to talk a little about patent lifespans and how to determine whether or not a patent is in force. When doing prior art searching, you might not typically be all that concerned about whether or not a patent is in force, or if a patent application is alive or dead. You're only concerned whether or not a reference is going to affect your ability to get a patent. But you will occasionally run across a reference that is very close to your invention, and you might want to know if it's in force. If it's dead, either because it was abandoned or expired, that can be valuable information to know. That IP would then be in the public domain and you'd be free to use it. Unfortunately, patent documents do not list an expiration date on them. To figure out whether or not a patent is in force, you'll have to do a little bit of calculating, and you may have to do some digging in the documents. A shorthand rule is if a patent application was filed before June 8, 1995, it will be in force for 17 years from the date of issuance. So if you see a patent that was filed before that date, you can calculate 17 years from that date of issuance, and there will be your expiration date. This is becoming less relevant as we get further from that 1995 date, but there are still plenty of patents that would have issued in the late 90s or early 2000s where that pre-1995 rule still applies. It gets a little more complicated for newer patents. If a patent application was filed after June 8, 1995, it will be in force for 20 years from the date the application was filed. You can check out the description for a little more information about why the Patent Office made that change back in the 90s. So for any patent filed after June 8, 1995, you're going to want to check out the filing date and calculate from then. But wait, there's more. Because the prosecution period of a patent is now included in the patent's lifespan, patent applications with very long prosecution periods can get an extension. So the way to find out when that patent expires is by going to Pair and downloading the file wrapper, just like we did in the last video. In the file wrapper, there will be a document called an issuance notification. Listed on that document will be the extension of time, and it's listed in days. I have here a recently issued patent from an associate, and this patent had a very long prosecution. On the issue notification, the Patent Office has extended the life of the patent for 1,233 days. This patent application was filed on May 23, 2008, so the regular lifespan would be until May 23, 2028. With the extension of time, it's going to be until October 8, 2031. Also, in addition to natural expiration, patents very often go abandoned if the owner doesn't pay the maintenance fees, and patent applications will go abandoned if the applicant doesn't make responses to the Patent Office actions. The patents and application status is listed on the application data tab in Pair, and it's more common than you think that patents and applications will just go abandoned. So anytime you're interested in knowing, check there too. And one more thing. Design patents have a different lifespan. It's calculated 14 years from the date of issuance. So if you're looking at a design patent, that's one with a D in front of its number, just calculate 14 years from the date of issuance, and you're set.